Roadbuster and I got off to kind of a rocky start. I got his deluxe and hated it. I hated the stupid spiky mullet and weak transformation. I hated its tiny size and stupid accessory. I hated how cheap and flimsy he felt. And apparently he wants to make it up to me because his Human Alliance toy delivers solidly in every way that the deluxe fell down. Even the mullet is better. And to think, I almost didn't buy this. When we first saw him, I was put off since all the other Human Alliance guys are models of realistic cars, and this one looks a bit like it's falling apart. I believe my exact words were, I didn't even know cars could get leprosy. But it turns out I was wrong again. I should just stop forming opinions till I see things in person. Maybe even then. Because Roadbuster looks nothing short of amazing once you actually have him in hand. Realistic alt modes are nice and all, but there's something to be said for bad frickin' ass. I'm starting to understand what Ray's always on about with not liking realistic car formers. I'm not quite ready to go that far, but this guy does make me wish Leadfoot was weaponized too. I mean, look at them together. Can you honestly tell me this is more interesting than this? I mean, look at the detail and the colors and the guns and the rocket boosters and the random alien greebles. They took a race car and 10-year-olded it up. And if that doesn't work for you, noodle this. They actually made a physical prop of this thing as a working car. They drove it to NASCAR events to advertise the movie, so this toy is a model of a real car after all. Sure, it's not a production car, and sure, there's only one car like it in the world, but isn't that also true of Leadfoot? Game, set, and match, Lamprey. Okay, let's talk transformation. This may be one of my favorite complex transformations ever. There's a lot to do, but it's never confusing. There's surprisingly few ways to mess it up, so you never have to backtrack. There's not even really any fiddly panels, and nothing gets in the way, and everything fits where it's supposed to. Minus half a point for accessory parts forming, but otherwise, brilliant. And this is just a killer robot mode. Everything's in proportion, the detail is really striking, although you'll have to take my word for it on the gray, because it kind of disappears on camera. And I just cannot get enough of this green. This shade of green is my new best friend. He doesn't even really have any kibble. Even the car roof looks like it's part of his back as opposed to a cape like on some of the other Human Alliance figures. Even the mullet's been improved. See, on the old one, the mullet kind of looked like a mullet made of wires, whereas on this one, it just looks like a bunch of random spikes, so you can pretend it's not a mullet at all. Not a mullet is the best kind of mullet. But it must be said, as faces go, this is not a good face. It looks like he's gone cross-eyed, probably trying to figure out if he had a blue repaint, if a black repaint, if a blue repaint, or whatever. You can flip out his specs to hide the eyes, but that just draws attention to the rest of his face. Looks like he's got a whole second set of eyes down here. Too bad there's not an entire flip-out full face mask in here. For accessories, he's got kind of a chainsaw thing, and some sort of blaster turbine hooger that shoots grapefruit juice. Shrug. He also comes with a generic green Human Alliance driver, but I've already said my bit about them and made the requisite Stig joke in Leadfoot's review. Remember? I was all like, Stig joke, and you were all like, ho ho ho. So anyway, Roadbuster, buddy, didn't know you had it in you. I'm really digging this figure, but maybe I'm just giving him too much credit for not being too bloody small. Seriously, this is the only toy I've bought since Dark of the Moon came out that hasn't felt undersized and cheap, and I'm really blown away at how much better he is than I expected. Don't get hung up on the weaponized alt mode and give him a go. You'll be glad you did. Oh, it's Transformers Review Assistant Dog. Say hello.